Last time on Polymorph Self, our heroes went to the petitioners' hall to see if anyone needed the help of a crack team. They met Dennis the farmer, who claimed he couldn't meet his quota because of an attack by raiders. After getting sidetracked in a gambling hall and trying to solve some marriage problems, they set off for Dennis's farm, but after a few hours on the road, they came upon the scene of a battle.
First, I just want to know, are our white cloaks, are they that camouflagey right now?
You can reverse them to camouflage, remember? The inside is mottled green forest camouflage.
But we're wearing them white out right now.
Right now, you look like bright, shining, white cloak-wearing people on the top of a ridge.
I flip mine.
Let's flip. I'm going to flip my cloak.
Yeah, I see him flip in, and I also flip.
Yeah, flip.
Your cloaks are flipped.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like things are happening on the ridge up from the wagon. Is there any way for us to sneak around the back?
Of course, I cannot tell you the answer to questions you do not know, but you could, in fact, try to sneak around from where you are. Have you not already been spotted?
Interesting. We saw that our companions told us to hold, though. What do you think that means?
So we can keep the element of surprise?
Now the person is frantically pointing over the top of the wagon in the direction of the rise. He clearly seems to be indicating that their attackers are up there.
In the tree line.
I want to get up there.
Yeah.
I suggest that we all get up there.
Well, you're a thief, right? You know how to sneak?
I'm a rogue, thanks. And yeah, definitely. That's where I start heading towards.
At the moment,
quietly on a horse.
You don't see any arrows flying or people running. There's still no visible... Of course, if you want to look carefully or spot or check or move, you just let me know the actions. If you want to go down...
Look, we have civilians with us. We should leave the horses here with the farmers. They know how to look after horses. We should all dismount and we should all start doing some sneaking up into the tree lines.
That is the most sensible thing
So,
you've
you
ever
know,
said.
I'd be the first to admit that I'm not the best in a battle, so I might hang
Onas,
out here.
say your orders to the farmers. They await your command.
Farmers, wait here, look after our horses.
We shall.
Yeah.
And stay down.
We shall.
As we get off, I would like to spot the tree line. I've got a +2 to spot.
Now, you are several hundred feet away, and they are, if there are people there, they're keeping pretty well hidden. But I'm going to give you a difficulty class of 15 on this. What is your spot skill?
+2. That's I rolled a 3. +2 is 5.
You cannot discern the position of these theoretical attackers. Let's go to Hjani. What's your action?
I think, am I allowed to discuss actions with people still, or are we just
Now it's
straight
time
in?
to act. What's your action?
All right. Well, I ready my bow and motion to them to maybe go up a little bit so that if any action is in fact unloosed, I know where to shoot my bow.
So you are going to cover with your bow.
Yes.
Awesome. Onas.
Well, there's some long grass up there. Is the long grass covering the entire area between the tree line and the road?
It just means that if you moved, it doesn't really provide cover, but because the tree line is on higher ground, you'd notice that if you were to move in that area, you could use it as cover. Like if you were among the grass, you could duck down.
Yeah, I mean more as kind of camouflage, so you wouldn't be seen. Okay, well, I'm going to make my way up towards the tree line through the long grass with my camouflage cloak. Straight up. I'm going straight up. Yeah, I'm going straight
Okay,
south.
Onas heads for the tree line from your position south. Seyda.
I'm going to follow him, but I'm going to attempt to move silently while I do so.
I'm going to rule that if you succeed a move silently check, it means that you get down in the long grass, you use your skills, and you can attain the tree line, hopefully without being spotted by whoever they're motioning towards. Onas, do you have anything similar you'd like to add? No? Okay, finally, Bjorn.
Yeah, I've got a +7 to move silently. So that's what I'm going to do as well.
So three of you are going to try to get to the tree line south from where you are.
That's the thing. No matter how good my move silently is, my move silently in this case is only as strong as our weakest link.
Well, Hjani readies her bow and tries to keep an eye on the very far away tree line to see if she can spot anyone. The three of you go ducking into the long grass and heading south for the ridge. Now you're in long grass with camouflage cloaks, and the spot on the ridge by the brook appears to be several hundred feet away. So I'm going to say, to keep out of their view, you are only going to need difficulty class 10. So let's start with Bjorn. You mentioned that your move silently is
+7 to move silently.
Okay, make your check.
18 +7 is, I got it.
Yeah, you disappear into the grasses with your cloak and skills, and you are going to attain the ridge. Seyda.
I don't have a plus to this. I'm just going to go for it.
Wait a moment then. What is your survival skill?
My survival is 4.
You can use your survival skill.
Okay, I'll use my +4 to survival. Okay, let's go. 18 + 4 is 22.
You also skillfully, using your barbarian skills, crouch down into the grass and disappear from view. Onas, what is your move silently?
It's dexterity.
Do you have a dexterity bonus?
Yes, I do. It's +2.
So you will get +2 to this roll.
Okay, that would have...
You're looking for a 10.
Okay, can I roll now? I'm going to roll. I got a 12.
Plus 2.
+2, so that's 14.
You also, using your cloak, disappear into the long grass. All three of you will shortly reach the ridge. In the meantime, Hjani is left, and you are happy that they have successfully... They're going to make it to the ridge. In the meantime...
You did good, guys.
The two people down at the at the fallen wagon are like sort of nervously hiding. Hjani, would you like to take an action?
Would I be able to, with my bow still trained on the tree line, also make my way towards the two people in the tall grass?
You could. You, as an archer, you know that if there are some kind of bandits or archers up there, you guess that they're likely to be short bow wielding amateurs. Okay, don't let the DM trick you into going into the line of fire expert archers, but which means at about 300 feet they're going to have, like -8 to hit you, basically. I know that's metagame talk, but this is way out of range. You think you can get down to the wagon pretty safely.
All right.
But there is a risk.
I don't even, perhaps by very obviously going to the wagon, I can also distract any attention from my 3 compatriots. So I am going to merrily skip over to the 2 people.
Okay.
Running.
You run down, just going for speed and direction, trying to get behind the cover of the wagon. You do so, running down the slope, bow in hand, pointing at the ground, running skillfully. And just before you approach the 2 people behind the wagon, it seems that someone on the range is going to take a shot at you.
Ooh.
Now, what is your AC?
My AC is 17.
At this range, with you on the run, they have... DM is looking. This is the action of a DM looking. In fact, what does Bjorn say to Seyda just before he disappears into the long grass?
You sneak real good for a big fighty person.
And now, they have a -10 to hit you.
I was never here.
A -10 to hit you. What was your AC again?
17.
17, and they have a -10. Does that make it impossible? Why don't I just roll the dice and find out? They roll 16. -10 is 6. Just as you arrive, you notice from just out the sort of your peripheral vision, from a point exactly above the brook on the ridge, an arrow takes flight. It goes flying through the air. And it falls a full 100 feet short of you into the long grass, and you find yourself behind the cover of the fallen wagon.
Snickering, and also with an idea of where their position is now, right?
You know exactly where they are. It is exactly and obviously where the brook hits the ridge due north of where you are. Now,
we don't necessarily know that.
The people you have just met quickly introduce themselves. A human man in his mid-20s, seems like a kind of rogue or a fighter wearing the white cloak. My name is Blake. Also, a female elf fighter. My name is Callie. Get down, there are archers on that ridge. We have been ambushed, as you can see. Most of our brothers have been slain by the raiders. You look over to the river. Among the bodies seem to be 3 slain soldiers in white cloaks and 4 slain bandits in plain clothes and leather armor. You guys have attained the ridge, and you are going along the tree line. slowly, you will reach the brook in about another 2 or 3 actions worth of sneaking. You are together as a 3. Hjani. Hello, I'm Blake. You've come to our aid. Thank God. Thank the gods.
Oh, so, female elf, who are you?
My name is Kelly. I am a ranger in the army.
Oh, that's very interesting. I also have some very, very good arrow skills. I look forward to working with you.
What do you recommend we do? We are pinned down, and yet we must get up there somehow.
Do you know how many people might be attacking you?
I don't know. At least 3 or 4, I presume.
Oh, 3 or 4. All right. Well, my friends are already on their way there. Why don't you and I provide some cover for them?
Okay, but I don't want to stick my head up at the moment unless we charge into the long grass. At that moment, Bjorn, Onas, and Seyda, you are almost where the brook meets the ridge. At that moment, it seems that some of the bandits make their mark. 4 armed bandits in leather armor, carrying crudely made short swords, but no shield, go running out. They cry a battle cry and start charging down the ridge towards where you guys are behind the wagon. But you see 2 of them are still behind, covering with short bows, as the other 4 go charging off the hill down towards. So you guys have got 4 charging down this ridge towards you. You guys can see the other 2. You are sort of like to the side and a little bit behind of the 2 covering with bows. So let's get the next actions from... now, Bjorn, Seyda, and Onas, you can kind of talk to each other without being heard for about 6 seconds before you take your action.
Okay, I'm worried about these guys who are charging down as well. I have throwing axes, so I think I'm going to try and hit one of them.
You should take them. I can take one of these guys with my... I'll try and ray of frost one of these guys with the bows.
I'm just going to take whoever's closest, so that would leave the archers.
Yeah, so you take one of the archers,
yeah.
I'll take the other one, you take out the...
Seyda's going to go down behind the runners, at first taking one of them with a...
I'm going to try and take down one with a throwing axe.
Hjani, you see 4 people come running down the hillside as you peer through the cracks in the overturned wagon.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I immediately rise up and ready my rapid shot. That was the 2-shot thing, right?
Yeah, 2 shots, and you give yourself a -2 penalty,
yes.
but in exchange for 2 shots. So you're going to...
Yes, at the 2 people coming down.
Yeah. You 2 are going for one each of the archers covering,
yes,
and you're going to throwing axe at one of the runners and then chase them, or hold your ground?
I will chase them down.
Okay, so here's what happens. You have surprise, which means that, Bjorn, I do believe you have a sneak attack, right? If successful, first of all, you attack them as if they were flat-footed, right? Which means they don't get their dexterity bonus on their armor class, so I'll tell you what that entails in a moment. And then you get a +1d6 on your damage if you strike. So we'll do you first. You try a sneak attack as a rogue.
Yeah.
Using what weapon?
I want to throw a dagger.
Or you can just go up and hit them if you like, or you could throw a dagger.
I'm gonna try to throw a D at one of these guys, and so I've got a +4 attack bonus when I throw a dagger, in a range of 10. I assume I'm close enough.
And and his armor class counts as 10 in this situation, with you sort of behind him and the sneak attack bonus. So you get +4, right? So you try to, without being noticed by him, throw a dagger in his back from a little distance away.
Certainly. So I'm going to roll.
And he has AC 10. Go.
That's a 3 plus my 4 of attack. That's 7.
You throw your dagger, and at the last minute, he seems to take a random, coincidental step away. Your dagger embeds thunk in a tree next to him, and he turns around to face you, looking surprised. In the meantime, Onas.
Well, yes, I'm going to cast my ray of frost at, I guess, the other guy, because that's the one I was aiming for. Can you remind me of how to do that?
Yeah, you say, I cast Ray of Frost.
I cast Ray of Frost!
And did you write down what the damage was from it?
Did I write down what the damage was?
Yeah.
In what sense?
Do you know how much damage it does?
No.
Okay. The DM believes it's 1d4.
I think I seem to remember that's correct. But,
I will be able to tell you in a very quick amount of time.
Maybe
but it's an automatic hit, right? Like a Ray of Frost?
It is an automatic hit,
okay.
and he'd have the kind of save. Here it is. It says 1d3. The DM is going to make that 1d4.
Oh.
And also, I'm not going to give him a save. He is surprised. That's how nice I am.
Okay.
You zap him with a beam of frost out of your finger, and it does how much damage?
Here we go. I'm rolling. 1.
1 point of damage. He drops his bow and pulls a dagger as he feels an icy chill go throughout his body.
Oh, this spell. Love it.
Okay, so you missed your dagger throw, and your spell did minimum damage. The gods are not with you, but can Seyda take one of the 4 running down the hill in the back with her throwing axe?
Let's try.
Again, in his back. He doesn't know what's coming. You're flanking him. Count his AC as 10.
Okay.
What's your attack bonus with throwing an axe?
+5.
Okay. You throw an axe at the back of one of the runners.
I throw an axe. I have +5 to a 6. That's 11.
11. So you succeed.
Yes.
Your throwing axe sort of like arcs through the air, spinning around itself, and thunks right into his back. What's the damage?
I do 1d6 +2. That's 1 + 3. 1 + 2 is 3.
Wow, a lot of ones being rolled here. So it sticks into his back. His leather armor seems to protect him from it sticking right in, but he's cut quite badly. That was 3 damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now Hjani pops her head up and in rapid fashion is going to let loose 2 arrows, right?
I say, watch this, Cully.
Now,
And
their AC for you counts as a 12.
12, okay.
And what's your
I have
bonus?
a +7 attack bonus.
Yeah, but the rapid shot gives you a
and
minus
then
2, right?
-2 on the second one, right?
Yeah, I thought it was -2 on both, but
Either one's fine. Okay.
let's go for the second one. DM is in a nice mood today.
Oh, how
the
lovely.
first one, you get +7. You need to get a 12 to hit.
All right, 12 to hit, babies. 18 +7, that definitely hits.
Is your critical on 1920 or 18, 1920?
Oh, 1920.
1920, okay.
So I
So it
just
hits.
miss a critical.
So what's the damage?
The damage is a 1d8 +1.
Yeah, you have a composite longbow with a +1
Mm-hmm.
damage bonus. Yeah.
All right, I do an 8 +1, so 9 damage on the first guy.
You pop up from behind the wagon with your composite longbow and loose a straight, flat arrow shot right at him. It catches him full in his face and goes right out the back of his head, and he drops down dead immediately.
I make like a little tongue clicking sound at Cully before loosing the second one.
You know, you could actually just make the tongue clicking sound.
Okay,
All right, but it's a -2, right?
you have to beat 12.
Okay. 16 +5, so definitely beat that 12.
Roll the damage.
1
+1.
+1, so 2 damage.
Your second arrow, fired rapidly, takes one of the guys across the shoulder. It's partially deflected, basically cutting him and rending his shoulder. So now we have 2 wounded and 1 fine guys still piling down the hill towards your
one
position.
very dead guy as well.
And one
Yeah,
very
one
dead
is dead,
guy.
and 2 sort of surprised but largely
okay
unhurt guys up with you 2 at the ridge.
One
So
of whom dropped his weapon, his bow.
he did, and he has to
me.
draw a dagger, which means I'm going to give you first attack on the melee.
Oh, wonderful.
But as for Bjorn and his foe, we are going to roll for initiative. So on your sheet, there should be an initiative.
Yes.
What is it?
3.
Okay, he has 0, so I'm rolling for that bandit. He rolls a 6, and it's no adjustment.
5, 6, 7, 8.
So you will get the first attack. What are you going to hit him with?
I gotta try to throw another dagger rather than close that distance.
Okay, if you do that, his next... You'll be unarmed for his when he goes into hand-to-hand
Oi.
with you.
I'm gonna run up on him and poke him with my short sword.
Okay,
That's
he has
an attack.
AC 12. What's the modification?
That's an attack bonus of +1.
Okay, he has 12 AC.
All right, here we go. 14, 15.
You stab him with your short sword.
Hooray!
What's the
I'm
damage?
Gonna roll a 1d6 on that. That's a 6 damage.
You run him right through the guts, and he collapses to the ground, gurgling on his own blood. He's dead.
Good work.
I don't know
you
if I'm
slay
happy
him.
about this.
You are, in this context.
Thirsty for blood.
Onas, you are getting first strike with your rapier, right?
Yep, I'm drawing my rapier, which is called Pierre. Pierre the rapier.
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 Nice.
I like
Rapier.
that. Okay, so that's great.
Ain't
His
nothing
AC
rapier than
is,
Pierre.
12. what is your attack bonus with a rapier?
Okay, my attack bonus with Pierre, the rapier, is 1 plus 1.
Good. So 20-sided dice plus 1, and you have to beat 12.
Okay, here we go. I roll a 17 plus 1, 18. And that's
Amazing.
my critical. I believe I get critical damage 18 to 20.
Critical damage is if you roll those numbers naturally
okay.
before. So you missed out by 1, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, a rapier can get a critical on 18, 19, or 20 because it basically just stabs right through your vital organs.
It's a nasty little piece.
So, although your ray of frost failed to kill him, he turns around. As he's drawing his weapon, you lunge forward and basically skewer him, to revisit that word,
Get him
with
good.
your rapier. What's the damage roll?
It's just like that spit burst we were planning on having the other day.
D6?
D6, yes.
1d6.
1d6 minus 1.
Yes.
Here we go. I roll a 2 minus 1. I do 1 damage. So he's a little bit frozen, and now
He's just annoyed. You've just annoyed him.
he's a frozen prick.
You stab him slightly with your rapier.
Nobody ever
Yeah.
went to the emergency room for a slight.
You stabbed well, but it was right onto a place where his leather armor was kind of overlapping,
I
basically.
stabbed well. That's what we take away from this encounter.
That means that before we resolve you guys down there, this guy's going to have an attack back at you.
Okay.
He draws his dagger then
This
and
could be it.
tries to stab you. What's your AC?
My AC is 12.
And he has his dagger plus 1, so he needs a 11
Okay.
to beat you. He rolls a 7, plus 1 is 8. He slashes wildly with his dagger, do the dancing step back out of the way, and his short dagger fails to get anywhere near you. Quickly roll again to see if you can finish him.
Oh, okay. So what am I rolling
To hit.
to hit? Okay. 'Cause this sounds like the worst fight ever recorded.
It's good.
I'm rolling. I've rolled a 10. And
Plus 1.
Plus 1, so that's 11.
So you fail to get him. Luckily
Oh,
for you,
boy.
Bjorn gets an attack in before he gets one back.
Can I will run up with my short sword and
Yeah, flanking him.
Just
You
poke
need to
him.
beat 10.
all right, and I've got an attack bonus plus 1. I roll a 16,
Oh.
17 total.
As he is engaged in combat with Onas, you run up from the side and stab him with your short sword.
And I'm going to roll a d6, 1d6 for damage. That's a 3.
He dies. You stab him in the back, killing him.
I had that.
You
Thanks,
have-
but I had that. I was going to take him. You didn't have to.
I nod.
Okay, you have dispatched the archers. Meanwhile, Seyda is chasing 3 bandits as they run down the hill. Hjani has used up her 2 shots. They are going to be upon the wagon shortly. Would you like to draw a melee weapon before they arrive?
Yes, I draw my longsword.
Let's roll for initiative. They have plus 0. They roll 11.
I have a 5, and I roll an 11 as well, so I have a 16.
That means you can jump out from behind the wagon and get a first attack. And then shortly following that first attack, Seyda will join in for the second round.
All right.
Now, Blake and Callie are still sort of like hiding behind the wagon. They don't appear to come out and join you immediately. But you get first attack. So a bandit is holding a short sword in hand, screaming murder, and just comes piling on top of you. What are you attacking him with again? Sorry.
The longsword. Attack
you
bonus
draw your
plus
longsword,
5.
and he has an AC of 12. What's your bonus?
Plus 5.
Okay, go for it.
A natural 20. Yes. So I have a critical as well.
So for the critical, you roll again, right? If you hit a second. No. Oh, I'm getting confused with different versions. I think you have to hit a second time to get the double damage, or is it just automatically double damage?
I think usually you have to roll to confirm critical.
That's what I always used to do. You
Okay.
know what? For today's session, we are going to do that, and I will make a note to myself to check that up later. So,
Okay,
roll
so
again to see if you can.
To just get their AC, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
with the bonus too.
9 plus 5. So
You beat 12.
14, yes.
That's right. So it's going to be double damage. What would the normal damage be?
The normal damage is 1d8 plus 2.
Okay, so you roll that, calculate it, and double it. That does not count as your roll.
All right, 1 second. Okay, I'm rolling now. 3 plus 2, so 5.
Times 2
10.
is 10. So here's what happens. Three bandits come storming down the hill screaming bloody murder. You wait, you pick your moment, you come jumping out from behind cover, with a longsword, taking him completely by surprise. He fails to check his run, and you just hold your sword out and he just runs right onto it and it goes right through his heart. You put your foot onto his body and push him off your blade, retrieving it. But as two more close down on you, one of them runs around the opposite side of the wagon. The other one tries to engage you. What's your AC?
My AC is 17.
Okay, the battle is raging. He rolls a 14. The second one tries to engage you, and you easily bat away his blow with your own longsword. Meanwhile, Seyda catches up. You can either help Hjani with this one, or you can hit the one trying to get around the wagon.
She seems okay. I'm worried about Kelly and Blake. I'm going to go for the guy going around the back of the wagon.
Okay. You scream and charge him. He turns around. Let's roll for initiative. What's your initiative bonus?
My initiative is +7.
That's right.
That is a 5 + 7 is 12.
Okay. He rolls a 7 too with no adjustment, so your 12 beats his 7. He turns around to see Seyda the barbarian running down upon him with her
greatsword.
Okay, his AC is 12. What's your bonus with the greatsword?
My
The
bonus
two-handed.
with the greatsword is +4.
Okay, roll the dice.
19 + 4 is 23.
You smash your two-handed greatsword into him. What will the damage be?
The damage will be 2d6 + 2. I need 2 of these. One is a 4, the other is a 6. +2 is 12.
Your sword bites into his body in the neck and cuts all the way down almost to his stomach.
Yeah, it does.
and then he slides off the blade, dead before he hits the ground.
Like a kipper.
There's one left. There's one left with Hjani, and it's Hjani's turn. He is AC 12. You turn on him with your longsword.
All right, fantastic. I roll my d20 for a natural 1. Ugh.
Okay,
Ooh.
as you take your sword back for the blow, it literally sticks into the wood of the overturned wagon for a second, giving the guy a chance to strike at you. What's your AC?
Also giving Onas a chance
17.
to get a kill.
From the
This is happening the same
He
time.
will never
as you
have
were-
a chance to get a kill.
Because we're kind of just watching this happen from up on the ridge.
You are in the middle of your action. Okay. He rolls an 18
Oof.
and manages to slash at you with his short sword for...
Oh no.
Oh no. I'll make you hurt each other.
pink dice. Oh, it's the same as it was. 1.
For 1 point of damage. Merely a scratch.
Ouch.
Now, we'll go you and then Seyda to the rescue. So, can you finish this remaining guy, who, by the way, is already bleeding from a wound in his back?
All right, so I try once again.
Yeah, AC 12.
All right. 6 + 5. Oh my goodness, 11.
He parries your blow only to be cut down from behind by Seyda in a coup de grace.
I'm
because
coming through.
You've done it.
Okay. Do I just roll my 2d6?
No, you've done it.
Oh, I've done it.
I mean, he's
Yay!
like basically all sort of, locked swords and almost into a wrestling position with Hjani, so you just cut him down from behind.
I'm just 6'1" of barbarian woman coming in and cutting people with a greatsword.
Yep, the battle seems to be won. You guys come walking down.
We had a pretty exciting fight too.
Just walking, just
Yeah,
calmly.
he's just like, hey, how was your fight? Ours was pretty exciting.
And by the way, in the long grass, you notice one more dead soldier with a white cloak.
Ooh.
So the situation seems to be, apart from the bandits you just fought, the original fight, there were 4 bandits who had died around the ford and 4 soldiers in white cloaks. And of course, there's your new 2 friends, Blake and Kelly. And Blake says, "Oh, you have saved us. We were exhausted from the battle till I thought we would not be able to repel them, and you arrived just in time. Thank you."
Happy to help. That last one, I mean, if this cart hadn't been here, I would have totally carved his head off too.
Yeah, you're quite adept with that bow. And you swing a great sword well.
I do swing a great sword. I'm off. I'm going to go pick up my axe that I threw. I don't want to leave that behind.
Okay, you go up searching for the axe, which you find easily. Meanwhile, Onas and Bjorn come walking down. You have now arrived back at the scene of the battle.
Hey, bros.
You should have seen that battle we just had. That was pretty intense. What happened down here? What's going on?
Just endless slaughter. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, we had pretty much ended the slaughter up on the.
I stabbed a man.
I pricked a man.
I stabbed 2 guys.
Okay. Okay, I'm Blake or Kelly if you want to talk to her also. It's both up to you. Blake seems to be a chatterbox. So you are fellow soldiers. Where are you heading off to?
We're headed to...
Can anyone remember the name of the village?
I'm searching my memory. I just killed a man.
I
Two
would
men.
also like to call down the farmers, because it's okay now. I'm going to pull them down and tell, we're taking Dennis to go check out some bandits out in the east.
Okay, Dennis says, I'm Dennis, and I'm from the village of Daniel's Furrow. These brave soldiers are helping us. Okay.
Human village.
Blake says, maybe we can travel with you on your quest until you... Until we go back to the town.
Will they overload the cart?
Wait, where did these bandits come from that attacked you?
That is a good question. We were but 6 soldiers on a patrol. We had stopped here to water the horses. Suddenly, bandits appeared out of this long grass, scattering the horses who bolted. We immediately entered into combat. The wagon overturned, and as you can see, 4 of our brothers were slain. By the way, you see... Again, you haven't investigated any of this, and you're free to, but there are 4 non-white cloak-wearing dead people and 3 white cloak-wearing dead people by the ford, and a 4th soldier with a white cloak dead in the long grass about a quarter of the way up the ridge. Yeah, we were ambushed. We managed to kill, what we thought was all of them. Then our brother, you can see there, was walking up the ridge to check for more when he was cut down by arrows, and it was about only moments after this that you arrived, our saviors. Obviously, there were more of them on the ridge. An ambush.
Should we do a bit of body frisking?
Yeah, some military school. That was one of the things that we do after every battle.
Yeah, have a little. We're getting corpse frisking.
A watering hole in the road. It's where people stop on their travels. If I was a bandit, this is where I would probably. No. So, anyways, respect.
Let's have a look.
I
guess.
Onas.
I mean, they probably want to collect up the bodies of their fallen comrades as well.
They appear just to be standing around still. Onas, would you like to check up on the ridge where the bandits were originally, the body halfway up, or the group of bodies by the ford?
Well, seeing as I slayed those 2 guys up on the ridge, I'm going to go up there and get my booty.
Okay, so you're returning to the ridge.
Yeah.
Seyda.
I am going to go turn over some bandits in the round, the 4 of them.
Oh, the ones that were already dead at the ford, or the ones
The
you and
already
Hjani
dead
just... okay, they already said by the ford. Okay, because they're also the enemies you beat by the wagon as well. Bjorn.
I'm going to go with Onas because if anything kicks off up on the ridge, he's going to need help.
Okay, and Hjani.
All right, I am assuming that as the second captain rank, we outrank these 2...
That is an interesting question. Their cloaks do not have any pins or sky blue trims, pure white, which means there's militia who have uniforms but no cloaks. And then there are rangers who are kind of like trained soldiers in the army. So they are like basic level rangers by cloak. You outrank them clearly in this situation.
All right, well, Blake, Callie, come with me. We are going to grab your compatriots and put them on the side of the road. We don't have time to bury them at this moment, but we definitely don't want to just leave them lying in a field.
Should we burn the bodies on a pyre or something?
Do we have time to build a pyre? I'm not completely sure. Usually there's quite a lot of people who pass by this. If we just erect a headstone or something, I'm sure that'll be fine.
You mean we should dig graves?
A shallow grave.
A shallow one? Well, the ground here is certainly spongy and wet from this brook. It shouldn't take us long to dig a shallow grave. Okay.
Great. I'll also check their
I'll get
pockets
to it.
just to make sure that we're not wasting materials.
Good idea. You do that, and me and Callie here will start digging. Do you have any implements for digging?
I have my longsword. That's about it. If this ground is so spongy, I'm sure you guys can use your fingers, right?
Daniel the farmer says, we have hose.
Oh, great. Even better.
Yeah.
Much better than fingers. Well, get to it then. Chop, chop.
That's right. They hand over to Blake and Callie their hose, their long wooden and metal-bladed gardening implements.
That's how I like my hose.
And Blake and Callie, whilst chatting sort of in whispers to each other, start digging a shallow pit. Hjani, you go through the pockets together with Seyda of the fallen at the ford.
Mm-hmm.
Now, quick innocuous question. Seyda, Hjani, who wants to go through the fallen bandits of the old battle before you came? Who wants to go through the soldiers?
I'm
would like to go
soldiers.
through the bandits.
You will go through bandits. You will go through soldiers.
Yes.
Okay. Now, while the DM looks something up, what do Bjorn and Onas chat about as they walk back up to the ridge?
Some fight, bro.
I'm gonna give you this one. Don't go claiming victory.
That was a pretty intense battle. I know that we might misremember exactly what happened, but we nailed them. You should have seen the way that I took that guy out with my ice blast, and then I got the old Pierre into him. That was pretty intense.
All right.
You just do it like, next time. You didn't need to take that guy from behind whilst I was thrusting into his front end. That was not necessary. I had him.
You had that man?
I had that man. I was going to have him.
You're lucky I came there to take him from behind.
Oh, you did come and take him from behind.
Okay, you continue walking up the length of the brook to reach the ridge. Meanwhile, Seyda, you said you were searching the bandits, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll go Hjani first. The 4 fallen soldiers do all clearly appear to be soldiers. Their leather armor, you recognize it as sort of issue for rangers. Their cloaks are white. They have good quality short swords and equipment. All 4 of them have good quality short swords, which of course you could always sell or use to arm allies or something. So there's 4 short swords. They all have belt pouches with some loose change. All together, you count up about 24 silver pieces. Experience points, which I've written down for this, we will tot up at the end of our sessions.
Okay.
Leveling up will happen in a strict sense, which is even if you get enough points and you level up, it has to be done in a sort of a character's break time, so to speak. You can't magically level up in the middle of a fight. Okay, so we will. I haven't forgotten that you've won points for this. We'll write them down at the end. Seyda, you find only a total of 8 copper pieces among the 4 dead bandits from the original. They all have like cheaply made knives, like shivs. They have clubs and cudgels. A couple of them have short swords, which are kind of poor quality, worth almost nothing. Except for one. One of the fallen bandits appears to have good quality leather armor and an army issue short sword. And when you search his pouch, you find an extra 3 silver pieces. On a second look, this fallen dead bandit appears to be, strikingly better equipped and different to the other 3. That's what you notice. Okay. Now, cut to Bjorn and Onas frisk these 2 guys. They each have short bows and 32 arrows, which are also useful for any kind of bow. They have about 3 silver pieces and 10 coppers between them. And they have standard stuff such as flint and tinder and small homemade knives for carving and sort of food cutting and stuff like that.
So nothing amazing, but we'll take those bows.
Yeah, we'll take the arrows back and give them to Hjani. Sorry, was there any evidence of a camp? Was this where they were staying at and waiting?
Okay, it's a bit meta, but we've previously had a conversation about tracking, right? When we were getting ready for this session. And I noticed that in this version it's a feat, so you've got to have tracking feat to be able to track. Then it's your survival check.
I've got dancing feat.
I have researched and noticed you can track with survival without the feat. It just means when you get past a certain difficulty level, like for hardened ground, you can't go there without the feat. You get feats extra when you get levels as well. So since this is soft marshy ground around here and loose sort of like in a pine forest where the ground's kind of dry and loose and there's ferns. That means the difficulty class for tracking is only 10. So you can do it.
Yeah.
Right? Which means you will use your survival skill as the bonus. What is that?
Yeah, I don't have a bonus to it, but it is a wisdom check.
And do you have a wisdom bonus? So you get +1.
And sorry, that was a 10?
Yeah, so you got to get 10 or above to sort of ascertain some specialized information. So make your check.
So let's see where they've gone. I'm going to roll. 5 + 1, 6.
Okay, it seems that to you that they just basically came up the slope. You can't see any other tracks or information that might suggest they came from which direction originally. Right, that's where you are. Onas.
Yep.
What are you doing while this is happening?
Yeah, I'm not doing much.
You don't want to do a tricky track? Help me tracky track these guys?
Do you have any spell skills or ideas that might help?
I mean, we've killed them all.
Just an idea.
There's nothing else to do. Let's just get out. We've got all the stuff. I think we should just get back on the road and get to where we're going.
Okay, the bodies are in the shallow grave. The farmers, Blake and Kelly, are sort of throwing the earth back over them. Your own horses are watered, and the road is clear. And unless you have anything else to discuss or do, we would then continue on to the village.
Take those short swords and put them in the
cart.
Yeah, take the 34 arrows.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's 34. Short bows, 2 short bow, and all those short swords into the cart. So
now my game rule is, although it's in a cart, and you should note that anything you are carrying in a cart by magic on your person has to be on just written down once, not doubled, not communally. It has to be written down on somebody's sheet. If in the future you ask about something and no one's got it written down, I will consider it lost.
All right, I'm writing down my 4 short swords and the 34 arrows you just gave me.
Okay.
Owls.
Owl.
I would like to mention to everyone there's something a little bit funny about one of those bandits. One of the bandits, he seemed a little bit more better equipped than the others. I would suspect that maybe he was a deserter.
Blake, Kelly, do you have any idea?
What are you guys talking about? Says Blake.
I'm not sure I want to include Blake and Kelly in this conversation.
They are in the conversation. Hi, what are you talking about? They were called over by Hjani.
We were just talking about the ridge. We were just talking about. Do people often come through here? How?
What are you guys worried about?
I'm just wondering about the rangers and people who come through here, whether they know anything else about the bandits nearby.
Well, if you're traveling east, sometime along the way, we will meet a lodge, a hunting lodge, or a station, or even the castle. So,
which
we could ask.
What would be on the way?
Well, you all know this, by the way, that if you follow this road, before you reach sort of far along this North Forest Road, you will reach one of the castles, Luna Keto, Keto. From there, you would have to strike north into the frontier farmlands to reach the village you're heading for. So basically, just about another day's ride. Like, you'd reach it tomorrow morning. Callie, this whole time, is just watching stoically again. She calls Blake over. Blake walks to her, so now you've got a chance to talk to each other without them listening again. Go.
Okay. Like I said, something seems a bit fishy about one of the bandits. I don't know if maybe they're deserters or if something's going on with the rangers around here, but I think we should keep an eye on Kelly and Blake and keep a lookout for any unusual activity.
Got it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Take it as read, they can't hear you. You can speak in any volume you like, they won't hear you.
Right.
Completely misread that.
So we should keep an eye on them if we're bringing them along with us. Maybe, if they are leading people into traps on purpose, we should...
Well, I mean, all those soldiers that did die seem to check out all right.
Why would bandits just attack a group of...
hardened soldiers?
Yeah, soldiers.
Why did these two survive?
Well, there could be many reasons. Once you get further out away from the cities, it gets a little bit more lawless. They could just be making money on the side.
Yeah. I know, something's fishy here. I think maybe these two guys have got something up with them. We should keep an eye on them.
Do you just agree to keep an eye, or does anyone have anything particular they want to do? You have skills, you might have objects, or you could just agree to keep an eye on them. It's fine. Just giving you a chance before we move on.
We have to believe them, give them the benefit of the doubt. They're wearing the cloaks.
Anyone can wear a cloak.
Well,
that's true. Look at us.
Well, you could always try and intimidate them with your barbarianism.
Intimidate them straight up.
Exactly.
Yes,
so let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. And
perhaps that one fellow, he seems to have taken to you as well, Onas. That Blake fellow. Why don't you just try talking to him a little more? He seems a little more loose of tongue. Yes.
Would you like to talk to him one more time before moving on?
I know I've got certain skills. I want to if I need to get the guy.
You have a high charisma.
If you want me to, yeah, okay, maybe I'll talk to him.
Just
I think
with him
you're suggesting I use some kind of jiggery pokery on him. I don't think I should do that.
Just a talk.
No one's saying jiggery pokery.
All right, I'll go and have
spit roast.
I'll just use my winning charm on him then.
Okay, well, here's the thing. How that would work then, without it being a skill, is I'm not going to give you any hints, of course, but you have to think about, I guess, a topic or a way into the conversation. Something based on things you know about.
The carts are loaded up. Everyone's pretty ready. You're getting on the horses. As you're just about to leave, you just sort of accidentally on purpose walk by him as he's about to get on the cart. And he's like, oh, hi. What was your name again?
I'm Onas.
Onas. Blake. Yes, Blake.
How long
Thank you again for... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, not a problem. If you were going to thank me for me and my band rescuing you, yes, it was a scuffle, but it was our pleasure. You're one of us.
Thank you very much.
How long have you been on the job?
On the job?
How long have you been wearing the cloak? How long have you been?
In the service.
Yes, the service.
This is my second year. Only one more year after this, and I can become a citizen.
Oh, really? Well, that's good. I guess you've seen lots of this kind of stuff before. Then lots of
action. Yeah, action.
Lots of bloodshed.
Not really. I mean, cheap bandits usually kind of just give up once they see the white cloaks of the guard.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Why? What do you think was different about these guys? Why didn't they turn tail?
Oh, they were quite bold, right?
Yeah, they were, and it seemed
ambushed us, fought to the death. Wow.
They managed to kill. What was it? 4 or 5 of you. You seemed kind of. I mean, is everything okay in your troop? I mean, you've lost most of your people. Are you okay with that?
Life goes on.
And everything's okay with Carly?
I don't know. She doesn't talk much. And as you know, I'm human. You're an elf. You know. She's an elf. Elves in our country are very, they're very philosophical about mortality, death, the chaos of the universe. They're introspective. And those nobles, they even, sit around in their towers, reading their books, taking their magical drugs and stuff. That's what elves are like.
All right. You seem okay by me, Blake. You seem okay by me. Hey guys, just spoke to Blake. He's okay.
Okay, the cart is ready, and you trek off for the rest of the day, heading towards the castle of Luna Cato, and beyond that, the mystery of the raiders at the village.